Hello, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk about the second episode of the third season of From. But also very quickly, this video is sponsored by me and my book, A Note Broken. It's YA fantasy, it has stars, magic, battles to the death, lies, betrayal, all of the things. So if you're interested, you can check the information down below. And that's it, and now let's continue with the video. So I think for this episode, I think it will be better to just talk from each character's POV. I'm not going to be talking about every single one of them, but just the most important ones for me. And I think they really dragged on with the death of Tenchin. I hope again I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I love her. She was such a sweet character. Her loss was deeply felt. I actually cried a little bit or a lot, and they just like dragged it on a little bit more in this episode. And again, I get why, but I'm still not happy about it. And it got a little bit more graphic because of Boyd's flashbacks, and I was like, I don't want to see this. I actually kind of turned the other way because I didn't want to see her suffer. And okay, so Boyd, he's going to have a really hard time, and I am glad kind of that his son came to him like to help him, although they aren't really very close. And I didn't think he was going to feel like a lot better after talking to him. I kind of forgot his name. I was about to say it, but it might be wrong. But yes, I think he's in a lot of pain, of course. Like, Mrs. Lu was this huge part of the community. I think everyone loved her, and him just being there and witnessing this horrible thing happening to her. And I thought it was really sweet that he kept repeating the phrase that heard Mrs. Lu say, so he wouldn't forget about it, because it was very important. They were probably her last words. So he kept on repeating that, and at first I didn't know what it meant. When Jade found him, I thought he was kind of losing it, and he was pretty much. But yes, he was just trying so hard to hold on to this information that he wanted to rely on Kenny. Last episode I called him Ken, I'm really sorry. And I really like him too, and just seeing him suffer, it was really hard. And Boyd tried to be, you know, like as easy with it as possible. But yes, Boyd is going through hell, and I fear it might only get worse. Like, he dared defy the entities in the forest, and honestly I don't think it can get a lot worse for him. So I think he might from now on try to fight against all of this that is happening, like just find a way. Because honestly, the town or the entities in the town are just really playing with him and with everyone, and really making them suffer even more than before. So I think there's not much more he can lose, if you know what I mean. So he might get a little bit offensive from now on, and I really hope so. Now obviously Kenny, he was super happy. They found this place with a lot of veggies and stuff, and a lake with clean water, I think. And again, I think it's because of the statues that are around, that they are forming this protection field, I guess, against the entities in the forest. And so food, water, that is excellent news. Actually, I also think that they protect from, like, if the, you know, like people were dreaming and they were dying in their dreams, I think that would also be really helpful for that. So I don't know what might happen with that later on, but I think they're going to continue exploring that, and maybe try, if not recreating those statues, maybe taking them from there. Like, I don't know what would happen if they were to put them like next to a house or something. Maybe they need to form a specific shape or a circle in order to create this fence or this protection against the entities of the forest. So anyway, they found food and everything. They were so happy. Kenny and Jim were returning, and yes, that's when Ken doesn't see his mom, and he's just like in denial, like no. And in the end, he knows. Hello. And in the end, he knows what happened, because he can see her, and everyone is like very sad, and they're just looking like, damn, like poor you. And he's like, I don't even want to hear it. Like, I know what happened, but I don't want to hear the words. I don't want to hear what happened to her. And in the end, like Boyd tells him that he was there with her, and he just breaks down, like Kenny breaks down, very understandably so. And it was very, very hard. And when he cried, I cried. It was so devastating, and he just wanted to be alone, and he wanted to burn the monsters. And honestly, I was with him. His mom was his last, I think, a connection to happiness, maybe. I'm glad Boyd told him that, like the phrase he kept repeating on his mind and out loud. It was a message to him, and that's when he was like, fine, you know, we'll keep on living. But it would have been very interesting to see them get inside and burn everything down, but at the same time, I get it. Talking about Sarah, I think it's been a little bit weird that she haven't heard anything, any of the voices from season 1, when Father Katri made her try to understand what was happening. Like, you can hear them, you tell me everything you know. And I think she drew what Father Katri had like hidden in the ground. And I think that was the last time we kind of heard her talk about the voices, so I don't think she can hear them anymore. But that's when Ethan's sisters, Julie went to her and told her, I don't want to be like you, I don't want to become like you, and I'm scared. And so it's like understandable, like she didn't want to do those things either. And yeah, like she went through it. It was really, really hard for her, and now she's still an outcast, obviously. And again, Julie's just very, very scared. And she's also very angry at Jim because she pretty much left them alone. Even if Tabitha is alive, even if she needs help, your kids need you more, and there was no one else to protect them. But Sarah, again, I think she's kind of coming back like, hey, I'm not as bad as you think I am. Like, I did all of this to try to protect everyone, even though they were really bad things. And then we get Tabitha, and I really didn't like that. It felt like very exposition. I thought I would have wanted it to flow a little bit more smoothly, but it didn't. Again, it felt just like a recap, and like the guy, like Victor's father, was just repeating what we already knew about the forest and the town. Like, you cannot leave, you don't know how to enter, you just do. And it's like, we already know that, and that felt a little bit like unnecessary. Or again, it could have flowed a little bit better. And the only interesting part, I think, was at the end of the drawings, and I think some of them are the ones that we see in the intro. And it was interesting to know that Victor's wife, Samantha, I believe is her name, got to see what was happening when she got high with her husband. And like, she kind of maybe got to see this different dimension word in here, because maybe she was meant to end up there anyway. So she kind of she was already connected to that place, and the drugs helped that make that connection even stronger. So from then on, she could see that place, she could see the children. Again, I'm not sure if saving the children is what it takes to save the people from Bill. I'm not sure about that. She was sure about that, but again, she could be lied to. And I'm not sure really how I feel about that. Again, like, it feels like it was just thrown in. Maybe it wasn't, but I don't know. I still feel like a little bit of things are a little bit loose. Like, maybe we will not have the full answers to everything. And maybe that was like a thing that the writers or producers or whatever were like playing with from the beginning. Like, they don't have the answers, very specific answers either. So I'm not really sure how I'm feeling about this. And maybe it's because forming theories is really hard, because we have so little information, and we don't know like where to start, where it ends. Like, we have nothing that is really tangible, other than these things are feeding on them, and they are destroying them and playing with them. Like, that's it. And one theory though, and I do want to talk about it, and I will be tagging linking the video down below. There's this theory that this creator came up with, and I think that's the best theory we have so far. He was talking about how fairies were the answer, and there is a lot of folklore behind fairies, depending on which country you are, in which area. And it makes a lot of sense, because fairies are known to kidnap people and take them to another land. so that makes sense. Also in folklore, they are quite evil. They can be kind and they can be evil, but above all they are tricksters and they can play with your mind. So that makes a lot of sense, and maybe that's why some of the things, the talismans and everything, are protective. I'm not sure if iron has been used, but I think iron is super useful against fairies. I don't know the whole thing. It's a lot of information, again, depending on the area, but I think that might be the answer. I think fairies might be behind all of this, and I thought it was, again, very, very plausible. And yeah, I'm pretty sure, like 90% sure, that that is the answer. So yes, I will be linking down that video. Everything is a mess. Donna was very, very angry, and I understand it completely, but also she was very wrong at, you know, being angry at Boyd. That man has been through a lot and he's just suffering so much right now, so can you leave him alone, please? Like, I understand your logic. I was actually talking about it on my review of the first episode. Like, just leave them be for now, like the cows and everything. Like, just don't put yourself at danger. But yes, like, Boyd wasn't the one to be complaining at, but I understand. Oh wait, Fatima, what the hell, I do think, and this is a theory of mine, that not only the entities or whatever were making the food rot to starve everyone, maybe that was also like part of it, but I mainly think that they did that to feed Fatima's baby, because again, she couldn't keep anything down. She had been throwing up for like 4 days, I believe, and she couldn't like eat anything really without just like losing all the nutrients immediately. And she was feeling really bad. She could barely walk. And then she found, I thought it was weird because she couldn't open the door when she got to Colony House. And that's how she encountered these people, that they were taking like the rotten food to be like used in another form. And then I think it smelled very, very tasty to her, because she just pretty much ran to it and started like eating it so fast, and it was rotten. But she still was like, oh my god, like, I haven't eaten for days and this is so great, this taste is amazing. So I think that was also actually one of the main reasons why the crops went bad, to feed Fatima's baby. So I think the reason is, and I've talked about it, that Ethan kind of represents the hope in that town because he's a kid. And so I think the town is trying to contrast that, like Ethan's imagination and naivety and just like, you know, childlikeness, with another baby that is going to be pretty much the Antichrist, or the Yang to the Jing of Ethan. So there are going to be two children, and yes, this Fatima's baby is going to be the representation of something from the entities. Like, he's going to be important, or already is important, to the town, like from Bill. Not to the people, but to the demons in there. So that is pretty much it. What do you think? Did you watch it? I mean, hopefully this was filled with spoilers. Do you think the writers know exactly where they're going with this, or they're just coming up with the plot and stuff as they go? I kind of think so. I think it's a mixture. I think they do know, but at the same time, they are putting like interesting things, just throwing them in to try to see like if it will work on or not, if it will stick. So I don't know, I'm a little bit worried about that. But anyway, I'm hoping you're having a really, really great week, and I will be seeing you later. Bye.